All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we are going to break down the game preview of the Cowboys visiting the Minnesota Vikings. What a game.
Yeah, I just saw yesterday this game was at home. 3:25 kickoff, which is kind of weird. But you know, when you're playing the Dallas Cowboys, you're probably going to be America's game of the week. So they put that at the 3:25 time slot.
2-7 doesn't matter. It's still the game of the week. And usually late games end up with a little foggy Monday morning because those brews taste a little bit better in the afternoon.
You're damn right they do. But I do enjoy a good breakfast brew every now and then.
Yeah, so our post game might be a little rough, but we'll see what happens. But let's dive right into this. Before we dive into it, remember to subscribe, like the videos. We're getting so close to 2,000 subscribers. We want to get to that big old Tuski. Can't wait.
When we get to the 2,000 subscriber, I will do a video topless.
Well, that just that's not going to help, but I appreciate that. Let's get into this game. First off, before we dive into anything, let's just think a little bit storylines. Any storylines in this game? Because I got a couple.
Well, I don't know. I mean, here's the number one to me is Mike McCarthy's return to the NFC North.
One.
You know, I mean, Mike Zimmer has done pretty well against him in the past. And McCarthy, you know, he's a good coach. I want to get that out there. He's a good coach. I respect him as a coach, but he always makes boneheaded decisions during games, whether it's going for it on fourth down, challenging weird plays. He just, I don't know. That was always something about him that kind of just made me scratch my head, scratch my balls. And another thing too, I think Mike Zimmer, you know, he started with the Cowboys. I always feel like that's kind of what he considers home. I feel it deep in my soul a little bit.
All right. That was the longest storyline ever. I disagree. I think Mike McCarthy's a horrible coach. I just want to be very clear about that. A couple storylines. We got CeeDee Lamb against Justin Jefferson. That's a hell of a storyline.
BD Ducks.
I don't know. We got Dalvin against Zeke, two of the top running backs against each other. And the other storyline is just the fact that the Cowboys are riddled with injuries, even though their record, maybe they would still be 2-7 regardless, but they've been pretty beat up on injuries. So those were my storylines.
So are we. We lost Danielle Hunter. Michael Pierce opted out.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing.
Don't give me that freaking injury bullshit.
All right, well, let's get to know these Cowboys. Before we get to know these Cowboys, remember, I shouldn't say remember, go to pickandshovelware.com. Type in the coupon code Lupagus or Onebar. You get 20% off your entire order. Check it out, pickandshovelware.com. They got some pretty sweet Viking shirts. Check it out. Lupagus, I know, has plenty of pick and shovelware.
You know, I think half of my wardrobe is pick and shovel, and they have a brand new. It's like an RBI baseball themed shirt. That's pretty fantastic. Check that out for sure. It's pretty sweet.
They don't just have. They got a handful of different Vikings gear and an RBI shirt. Remember, coupon code Lupagus and Onebar, 20% off. Boom. What a stocking stuffer. Let's get to know these Dallas Cowboys. They are 2-7. They are mildly pure shit. They have lost to they've beaten the Falcons and the Giants.
Yeah. Go that way instead, because the loss list is long.
But we lost to the Falcons, so we can't get a little too carried away. As far as who they've lost to, I'm rattling off quick. Rams, Seahawks, Browns, Cardinals, Washington, Philly, and the Steelers, who they hung with. So 2-7, very disappointing season for the Cowboys. Offensively, ranked 8th overall, which is actually pretty damn surprising. 395 yards a game. 4th in passing. I will say, I think a lot of that is because they've just been down every damn game. So they are going buck wild on that. 17th rushing, 110 yards a game. Defensively, 23rd overall, 11th against the pass, and 31st against the run, which makes my parts very excited. Their defense is crap.
It is crap, but you got to look how they played last week against the Steelers. They hung in there. Very surprising performance. Not really sure where the hell that came from. If it was Garrett Gilbert just lighting a fire under everybody's ass or what it was. But as bad as they've been, Vikings have to. They're in no position to overlook this team. Let's just get that out there right now.
Yeah, even though the Cowboys are 2-7, the Vikings are they've been on a little bit of a hot streak, but by no means are we looking past the Cowboys. This is easily a game that the Vikings could lose, and we're going to dive more into that. Before we do that, we always love to hear the favorite team of favorite player that has played for this team. So, who is your favorite Cowboy of all time?
You know what? This is going to be shocking because, there's a lot of all-time great Cowboys. And I know yours is going to be like some fucking guy who played 1984. Not me. Mine is a guy who just recently retired from the Cowboys. He was a really shitty broadcaster. Now he plays for the Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders. I love Jason Witten. I always have. I was a tight end when I played. Jason Witten. This guy was just such a stud for such a long time. My dad would always draft him first round in all of our fantasy drafts. But he was so good though. He would get like 90 catches a season, almost double-digit touchdowns. He's a great blocker, great asset in the passing game. I love Jason Witten. I always will. I'm glad he's off Monday Night Football though.
Yeah, Jason Witten, tough guy not to love. Your dad might have drafted him in round one all the time, but I'd usually finagle some sort of trade to get him, and he would always be good for 9 to 15 catches a game. Yeah. Jason Witten, fantastic. I'm going with a guy that Vikings fans probably have a little bit of a sore spot for, but it is Herschel Walker. No doubt about it. I don't care what we gave up for him when he was on the Cowboys. He was he was just one of those guys like a Bo that you just love to watch because he was just this freak. What I don't like, the old Tecmo Bowl games, Herschel Walker did not get the love that he should have. Bo Jackson, players would be bouncing off him. Christian McCoy would be bouncing off him. Herschel Walker was just not that fast, and he couldn't really break that many tackles. So Tecmo Bowl, shame on you.
Do you have a pen and a piece of paper?
Yes.
Do you have a postal stamp?
No.
You have an envelope?
No.
You should write Tecmo a letter.
Well, I don't know if they exist anymore, but Tecmo Bowl, anytime you take the Cowboys, he should have been way better than he was, but he was a good kick returner. So yes, Herschel Walker. All right, switching gears.
Wait, do you hear that?
I do hear it. I hear it.
Onebar injury report.
Onebar injury report, the weekly injury report. Let's start with the Cowboys. Tyler Biadasz, however you say his name, Wisconsin rookie. He is and Randy Gregory, who we're all very familiar with. They did not practice. Demarcus Lawrence, a little bit of a surprise, did not practice with an illness. They're not saying anything as far as COVID or anything yet. But the fact that it's an illness is a little bit questionable. We'll see what happens there.
It sounds like diarrhea. It sounds like diarrhea.
Maybe he just had a bellyache. Demarcus Lawrence, obviously their best defensive player, no doubt about it. So that one will be one to keep an eye on. We already mentioned as far as guys that, we didn't mention the guys, but guys that are already on the IR, Trevon Diggs, Lil Collins, Blake Jarwin, Tyron Smith. They've been hit. Dak Prescott, obviously. So they've been hit with the injury bug. When it comes to the Vikings, one concerning one, Ezra Cleveland is still not practicing. They did not practice today, so it'll be that one will be one to keep an eye on for sure.
With CJ Hamm?
CJ Hamm, he is on the COVID list, and I think it's not even possible for him to play as far as the amount of days. Chance. Well, we'll see what happens, but that one could be interesting. Cam Dantzler and Hercules Irv all limited. We'll see what happens there. But that's it for the Vikings, and that is it for the Onebar injury report.
Well, it's good news on the Irv front. He was able to practice a little bit today, so that is a positive sign. CJ Hamm worries me, and obviously, who the hell was that one you said?
Ezra.
Ezra is a huge concern because Ezra, to me, is the key to this whole line kind of coming together. So if he's not out there, it's going to be gross because, I don't know, is Drew Samia back? Are we looking at someone?
He is not.
So I'm going to show up.
I'm glad you brought that up. So if Ezra Cleveland is out, it's going to get very, very interesting. They could do an Oli Udo. They could put Dakota Dozier on the right side. They could put Brett Bush Jones out there.
There you go. That's what it's going to be.
We'll see what happens. If I had to guess, I would actually say it would be Oli Udoh, because Oli Udoh was the guy they had playing at guard, at least trying him out. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Ezra practices tomorrow. I believe it is an ankle injury, so we'll keep tabs on that.
I think it's going to be Bush Jones.
Bushki. Well, let's take a big old.
You got your ticket
for a spin around the NFC North. Enlighten us on what's happening on the NFC North.
You know, I actually was going to double check these standings, and I think I forgot. So hopefully they're right.
God, kidding me?
Green Bay Packers 7-2, leading the division. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Bears at 5-5. Second, let's just make sure everybody knows that is a four game losing streak they're on.
Yeah,
at one point they were 5-1.
Shit in the bed.
Vikings, third place. Browns, 4-5, and the Lions are sniffing everybody's assholes. They're also 4-5, but a much different 4-5 than the Vikings. But again, they did get a victory last week, so Lions are hanging in there. This is if any of these teams right now were in the Cowboys division, they'd be leading it.
Yeah, they wouldn't be leading it; they'd be dominating it. Domination. Well, let's be clear. The Packers are going to win this division. All signs point to the Vikings probably getting second place. Whether that second place means they're in the playoffs or not is a different scenario. But the Bears are trending down, and the Lions are the Lions. So we will see what happens.
All right, let's move over to some new Cowboys additions. Guys they signed, guys they drafted. Well, they did bring in HaHa Clinton Dix, and he's already gone. So who's laughing now? HaHa. They got Gerald McCoy. I believe he's hurt. Don Terry Pope, Darian Thompson. They got Everson Griffin. They've already traded him. So some new faces they brought in have already been shown the door, which is kind of bizarre. The Cowboys did have a sweet-ass draft. CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, Neville Gallimore, Tyler Byadash. That's how the guy, Jay Tuck, said it. Looking at these 4 picks here, I mean, other than I didn't think we'd get CeeDee Lamb, but Trayvon Diggs, Neville Gallimore, Tyler Byadash, all players, I think I actually mocked to the Vikings in the same draft a few times because, I mean, those are targets that we had, guys we thought Vikings would look at. So I really love the Cowboys draft this year.
Yeah, the Cowboys might be stepping on their dick, having a horrible year, but they got some good young players, no doubt about it. So they had a very good draft.
Yeah, they did. All right, so if he could pluck one Cowboy, carry him over, drop him in purple, shake him off, put him in the lineup, who's it going to be?
Easy peasy. Every week I just look at their guard situation, who they got going on, and I usually pick them, even if they're not great. So Zach Martin easily coming to put that beautiful shade of purple on. And Zach Martin is probably having, even though the Cowboys are having a shit season, their offensive line has been a mess due to injuries. Zach Martin's probably having the best season of his career. He is on top of his game, and I would love nothing more than for him to be in purple.
Yeah, you know what? I also had Zach Martin.
Oh, yeah, I would hope so.
Demarcus Lawrence was also considered. Vikings don't have that premier pass rusher right now. Having Demarcus Lawrence on this defense would be absolutely huge. But, yeah, having that guard, Zach Martin's still young. Having that guy on the roster would be such a luxury. So, yeah, I went with Zach Martin.
Yeah, that's kind of a gimme on this team. Let's start diving into this ball game. See what happens here. Let's talk about 3 ways the Vikings could lose against the 2-7 Cowboys. How is it possible?
Well, number one for me is you can't get any pressure on Andy Dalton if he is the quarterback this week. If he's getting plenty of time back there, you look at the receivers the Cowboys have: CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson. All very good players. So if he's got time to scan the field, find the open man, that's not good for the Vikings.
Well, I mean, it is Andy Dalton, so it's not great, but there's worse things.
Same time as Christian Ponder, and he's still in the league.
You're right. No, I like Andy Dalton. I'll go with one that's fairly similar. Is basically, let's see. Oh, this is the way the Vikings lose, right? All right, way the Vikings lose. Trap game. This is a trap game. The Cowboys could be 2-7. It doesn't matter. The Cowboys, they played the Steelers very well 2 weeks ago. And the Cowboys, I mean, like I said, they beat the Falcons. They have some players on their teams where the Vikings could be overlooking them. And the Vikings are on a little bit of a roll. And maybe they're looking towards those ferocious Jaguars. But I don't like the fact, I wish the Cowboys were like 4-5.
Again, the Vikings are 4-5, so I don't think they're in any position to overlook anybody, but that is legit. I'll give you that. Vikings lose. I also have, the Vikings, my concern here is that they're so focused on the wide receivers, shutting them down, that big trifecta, that they forget about Zeke Elliott, and he gashes them up the middle. You look at what Cordell Patterson did in the first half last week. I mean, he was getting like 6 yards a carry for a while there. They did tighten up. They did some Kegels at halftime. They were much tighter the second half, but Zeke is he is actually a running back, a very good running back, an elite running back, and Cordell Patterson is a wide receiver / kick returner, and he was finding plenty of room against the Vikings early. So do not forget about Zeke. Do not put all your concern on these wide receivers, because that concerns me, because I think Zeke could he's due for a big game. He hasn't gone over 100 yards yet this year. I am a little concerned about Zeke.
I think Cordell Patterson ended that game with like a 2.9.
I said they did Kegels. They tightened up. I'm going with special teams. Obviously, a glaring issue the last couple of weeks. I do expect this game to probably be fairly close. So when it comes to special teams, you cannot have any of the issues we've had in the last couple of weeks. CeeDee Lamb is our punt returner. We cannot let him bust one off. We cannot let Tony Pollard bust one off. We cannot have any step on our dick moments where we're having a bad snap, or we're yes, Mr. Lupagus. You quit saying bust one off.
I can't help it. I'm going to say it more. I want to say it more now that you just said that. But special teams has to be clean as my underpants right now.
I think there's some red hairs and probably a couple of poop flakes in there. But I also had they can't have these continued special teams blunders. It's going to come back and bite them in the ass. And hopefully this isn't the game where it happens. Hopefully they tighten this up. Mike Zimmer's screaming at Marlon Maloof on the sidelines. That guy is sweating balls about his job security. So
should be.
Hopefully we see a perfect performance from the Vikings special teams, because I also had that if they muff a punt, shank some field goals, shake some extra points, you just don't want this Cowboys team hanging around later than they have to be.
I'm sorry. Have you guys visited pickandshovelware.com?
I don't know. I mean, it's Christmas season. What better gift can you give your loved ones?
Imagine putting that in a stocking stuffer. Coupon code Onebar or Lupagus. You pick which one. You pick which one you want to put.
In all seriousness, though, I mean, those are some of my favorite shirts. They're so goddamn comfortable. They look great. Again, I wouldn't be pushing these guys if the shirts were shit.
Yes, they're Minnesota, local, and I will agree. They're just those comfy. I don't really call it tri-blend. It's not like this Hanes freaking Gilliard or whatever the hell it's called. Very comfy, very comfy. My third one is, I kind of already hit on this. No, this is my third. The Cowboys are coming off a bye. They're coming off a very good game against the Steelers, who are a very good team.
My crew just called me.
They had plenty of time to prepare for the Vikings. The Cowboys know that they're not going into the playoffs, even in their shitty division. So maybe they are just looking to go and get a big old win and just completely. And Mike McCarthy, there is a history there. He wants to beat the Vikings. I don't care if he's in the NFC North or not. He wants to beat the Vikings. So maybe they're putting all their chips in on this game. That does concern me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure Mike McCarthy would love to pull one over Mike Zimmer, especially when he's 2-7 and Zimmer's trending the right way. But yeah, and again, kind of building off what you just said, the game they had last week against the Steelers, were all of a sudden like, who are these Dallas Cowboys we're seeing right now? This is not the team we've seen all season. If they build off that performance, that kind of worries me as well.
All right, let's get off the negative Nancy's. Let's go to the positive Paulies, and let's go to 3 ways the Vikings win this frickin' game.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, Dalvin Cook goes out the way he should against this Cowboys run defense. They've been horrible all season long. Dalvin Cook only got 96 yards last week against the Bears. He is going to be hungry. He is going to be active. He's going to want to just dominate. I fully expect him to have one of these games where he's well over 150.
You know what's great? When you have a good running game is when you say he only got 96 yards. Dalvin Cook is a monster. I love him. I have him down as well, so I'll go with that. It's just basically feed Cook. Cowboys cannot stop the run. They're not going to stop Dalvin Cook. It's not possible. Their defensive line, their linebackers cannot stop the run, and Dalvin Cook will have a big old game. So continue to feed him the ball. Look at what they did against Chicago last week. He wasn't doing shit. They kept giving him the ball. He had 29 carries. Can you imagine 29 carries against this Cowboys team?
Did you say kept?
Kept it.
Yeah, 29 carries against this Cowboys team. He'll be at like 300 rushing yards.
I actually think if he gets anywhere between
20 Are you going to do what I think you're going to do?
No. If he gets anywhere between 20 and 25 carries, he will have 150 plus against this team.
Oh, I thought you were saying he'll have the rushing record for a single game.
Never. AP's got that. Oh. All right, what's your next one? We had the same one.
Well, I just think, if these corners are able to hang with and contain the Cowboys receivers, that's going to be huge. Again, you look at Jeff Gladney, Chris Jones, Chris Boyd. I think Dancer is going to play. It sounds like he's getting healthier. So these guys can match up, slow these guys down, play the way they did against the Bears. Allen Robinson was kind of an afterthought Monday night. That would be huge. Again, what worries me is the last time we played a team with 3 good receivers, we got destroyed.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough task, but my next one is actually kind of on the opposite of that. Is a way the Vikings win is keep the ball in Andy Dalton's hands. Make Andy Dalton win this thing. If we leave it up to Zeke, our rush defense is not that horrible, but it's not that great either. If Zeke comes out and he's busting off 6 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry, that will concern me right off the bat. If this is up to Andy Dalton to win this game, yeah, it's gross. If this is up to Andy Dalton, I'm much more confident. So keep that thing in his hands. Let him go out there. Let him step on his Peter and screw this game up, because I'm not confident in Andy Dalton. I think we can do pretty well against him.
How many times we talked about you're 40 years old, you can't say the word Peter anymore?
No, I'll say Peter until the day I die.
Yeah, I would actually be more concerned if Garrett Gilbert was starting than Andy Dalton. I'm excited that Andy Dalton's back.
Yeah, Andy Dalton coming off a couple weeks off, maybe a little bit rusty. A rusty Andy Dalton is like a rusty Lupagus hog. It's not great.
Hog is never rusty. Let's one more for me. You don't let this team hang around. I kind of alluded to this earlier, but you can't score touchdowns. Don't kick field goals. No turnovers. No missed extra points. Don't make this a 1-score game when it can be a 2-score game. Don't do these little things that keep the shitty 2-7 team having hope, because they have the weapons on both sides of the ball to keep this close and to pull one out late. So put them away early. Don't give this team any hope.
I'm glad you bring up hope. I actually went to the movie theater to watch the movie Hope Floats, starring Sandra Bullock and Harry Connick Jr. Great movie. Check it out.
You know what my review was of that movie?
What?
Hope floats and so does poop.
Well, not mine. I got one final one. This Cowboys offensive line is complete shit right now. I believe their offensive tackles are pretty much up to their third stringers. They are gross. Cameron Irving, I don't even know who the other one is. I had it earlier, but I don't remember.
Terrence Steele.
Yes, Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, undrafted free agent. They chuck him out there. He is not having a great year. So rush 4 against these guys. We're going to get pressure on them. We could probably rush 2 and get pressure on them. Drop those other guys back and just take care of these other receivers. Don't get too fancy. Continue to rush our 4 guys. I think you got guys like Hercules Mataafa causing some ruckus. Odenabo is going to be causing some ruckus. Don't get too crazy. We will get in the backfield and we will make Andy Dalton very sad.
What movie did you like better, Sweet November or Hope Floats?
Sweet November. Sweet November is a fantastic movie. Very sad, but very good. Don't watch it with a hangover. You might cry.
Wow. All right. So let's get a bold prediction. What's your bold prediction for this game?
Well, before that, let's get into our game changer.
Oh, I wrote it. I was a breakout player, but
Who
Game
is going to be
changer?
the game changer in this game that puts us over the top?
Well, I thought this guy was lined up on the right side, but according to depth charts, he's been on the left side. Afidio Denable should be lined up against Terrence Steele, according to my calculations. And if he is, he is going to have 3 sacks and be the game changer.
Wow, that's a game changer and a bold prediction. That's
He's going to get a sack fecta, is what I call it.
well, my game changer is one rookie. Goes by the name of Jeff Gladney. Jeff Gladney is going to be on CeeDee Lamb all damn game. It's going to be up to him to shut him down. CeeDee Lamb is, we're very excited about Justin Jefferson, but CeeDee Lamb has had himself one damn year as a rookie. And Jeff Gladney is going to have a tough task of shutting him down. So, Jeff Gladney, it's up to you. It's up to you to bring this W home.
Wow. You will too. So, what's your bold prediction then? Is that what
Well, my bold, I'm glad I get to go first. My bold prediction goes on top of this. And I'm going to say Jeff Gladney will get his first career interception, and it's going to be beautiful.
How far is he going to return it?
I don't care if he returns it a yard. He's going to get his first interception. I'm going to go ape shit and slam a beer off your ass.
I didn't go with the player. I went with the team. And my bold prediction is the Minnesota Vikings put up over 40 points against the Dallas Cowboys.
That's
40 points.
Not that bold. I believe every team has scored over 40 points on them except the Steelers, but we'll have to look into that further. We will be back with our game predictions on Saturday.
Yeah.
And as far as our score, we'll see what happens there.
And I'll be in the woods, so I'll probably be in the deer stand again.
Being a deer stand, Lupagus will be coming back in blaze orange. And once again, remember, pickandshovelware.com, coupon code Lupagus and Onebar, 20% off. Hell of a deal.
I think this is a fact coming up that I maybe already alluded to once in a long time ago, but it's worth mentioning again. Next time you go to the zoo, Onebar, be sure to bring some rocks with you because some penguins are prostitutes who offer sex in exchange for pebbles.